Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Simple Money Guys podcast, where we make money simple for you. I'm Greg, and as always, I'll be joined by John and Ryan. Join us today as we discuss some of the most essential money tips that'll help you take full control of your financial future. If you haven't yet, please give us a follow on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at The Simple Money Guys, and please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts. It helps us a tremendous amount. Have you guys seen, what was it called, Squid Game yet? The hottest trending show of all time.
Show. Yeah.
You haven't seen it?
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it though.
John, you haven't seen it either?
I haven't seen it. I know what it's about. I've seen the memes and all that, but I have not seen it.
It gets pretty sad and depressing and just real. And there's a lot of it's not necessarily gory. Like Game of Thrones is gory. Squid Game isn't gory like that, but I mean I don't know. It teaches some important lessons about money, though. The overarching theme of the show, is that no matter how down, essentially it's just a bunch of people who are in debt and owe a lot of money, and then they end up competing in this game show, kind of, where the losers actually die, and the winner wins. I think it was something like 40 billion won, or whatever the Korean dollar is, which I think translates to at least, it was like 10 million or something. It was like 20 million. It was a lot of money. But the end result was that no matter how down on your luck you seem, how much money you owe, money isn't everything, and you always have this beautiful life. So just thought I'd bring it up. I wanted to see if you guys saw it.
Yeah, I haven't.
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, like I said, I've seen the memes and all that, but and I heard it was a little bit about money, like personal finance and all that. So do they the people who are in the Squid Game, are they in debt? That's how they got in there?
So they're all in debt, and that's how they bring them in. So they actually have this guy that's like a recruiter, and he starts playing some simple child game, which all the games end up being like children's games, but he finds you in the subway station or something, plays some games with you, gives you $100,000 or whatever the won is, and then they end up giving you a card that's like, oh, call this if you want to play more or something, and then they pretty much abduct you and then you play these real games for actual money. And it was a pretty good show. I mean, it's all over the internet now, so I don't know. You guys just got to get with it.
Is it just one season?
Yeah, it's one season, 9 episodes, so it's not bad.
Okay.
And it's not a money show by any means, but it's definitely, money is a big theme throughout of it. One of the characters is an investment banker or something who, I think he got in trouble for insider trading and things like that, and he ends up, actually, I'm not going to spoil it for any of the listeners, so just go watch it. It's a good show. It is very mature content, though, so I would highly advise to make sure you are of mature, age before watching it. But yeah, I know on some of the memes, they'll play red light, green light, and then shoot the people if they keep moving. No, that's crazy. That happened. And that's not really a spoiler either, because that's within the first 30 minutes. But
that's literally on Twitter. Yeah. That's what I see. Yeah.
And it sounds ridiculous, but I swear it's a good show. It's actually a good show. But in other news, Facebook's been in trouble a little bit, huh?
Facebook. Well, yeah. Oh, wait, are you talking about the Facebook being down? Or?
Everything. I mean, just Facebook. Everything. Is, they don't have a good reputation.
Whistleblower.
Yeah, everything. Let's dive into all of it. How did you guys fare without Facebook for however many hours it was? I think it was 6 hours.
I thought it was good. Take a break.
I don't think any of us really use Facebook that much. Did that?
Well,
I didn't
Instagram
really feel Facebook.
It's Instagram and WhatsApp too.
Right, yeah. So I definitely felt the Instagram where it's down. Obviously, we use Instagram all the time. Facebook, I really didn't notice, and then WhatsApp, I don't even use that either. So, do you guys use all three platforms?
I use Instagram pretty much exclusively out of those three. I'm still banned on Facebook, by the way, so if anyone out there knows how to get me back on Facebook, for some reason they think I'm under the age of 13, so I'm not allowed on Facebook, but my Instagram works. And then I don't use WhatsApp, but if I'm traveling like internationally and like I meet international folks, for some reason that's like the go-to app for communication. How about you, Ryan?
Yeah, I use WhatsApp for family chats and stuff because one, I have international family, and then two, my sister has an Android, so she ruins every iMessage chat.
Yeah.
So we have to use WhatsApp. So, but I use Instagram the most out of those. Facebook, I mean, I check every now and then, but nothing seriously.
Yeah. I didn't really. I thought something was wrong with my internet, like my Wi-Fi, and then I've like 2 hours later. Everyone's coming home and like everyone's saying it's the same thing. So I was like, oh, I guess it's a bigger deal. And you can't really check for update because like I check Instagram and I mean, I guess there's Twitter and Google to check for updates, but I just thought something was wrong with my internet, honestly.
Yeah, that's how I found out about it. Was I tried to load Instagram, it wasn't working, so I popped over to Twitter just to like scroll on there, and someone was like, oh, Instagram's down, Facebook's down, and then, I mean, you can search all the hashtags of Facebook down and all that, and then you just learn, like, okay, like, it's down for everyone. So Twitter for that, I think, is a good, like, source of news for, like, quick updates like that.
Yeah.
It is, yeah, because everyone's talking about it, but, yeah, that's kind of how I found out. But it was down for, like, what, 6 hours? In some parts, like 6 hours.
How does that even happen? I don't understand how.
Isn't that the
company that big can just
conspiracy
go
and
down?
everything? Well, actually, I didn't even really take a deep dive into the whistleblower. Like, can someone explain what happened there to me?
From what I know, that the whistleblower is, she basically worked for Facebook for a few years, I believe, and throughout the course of years, she started gathering like confidential information on Facebook, like all these like data and tests and all that about Facebook, and basically pretty much said that Facebook knows it's harming its users, but they don't do anything about it, and they'd rather put profits over like the health of people. So that's kind of what I got.
I mean,
from
doesn't
it.
everyone understand that though about Facebook?
Yeah, but they
Yeah,
can't
it's-
stop using it. That's the thing.
Yeah,
Like people
true.
are
Yeah.
depressed and have anxiety because of it, but they can't stop using it. And
Like Facebook literally knows that it's harmful to its users, and Instagram too. Like there was even a report that they found out that Instagram was extremely harmful for like girls under 13 years old or something like that, and
Yeah.
they're still pushing like content and algorithm and profits over the like that health of their users.
See, I'm a little conflicted when it comes, and I don't mean to be controversial, but like, isn't like, I don't know, McDonald's, for example. Everyone knows McDonald's is harmful for people, but you know, I mean, people learn to consume McDonald's in moderation, right? Shouldn't that be what people aim to do? And I get that social media is a whole different beast, and it's something that's relatively new and everything. But I don't know. Isn't the goal of every company to maximize profit? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm sounding a little too controversial, and we don't need to air this.
Yeah,
You're
there
a capitalist.
that is the point. I guess where the gray area is the moral side of it. Like,
True.
how are you earning that profit? Is it because you're feeding people content that you like isn't like that you kind of tailor to them and take them down a rabbit hole of certain content and it makes them depressed? Is that morally right? I think a lot of people would argue no.
Right.
But I mean,
I think
they
that's
are
a
making
good-
money, right?
Yeah. I definitely think like Facebook should be more proactive to helping its users and be more of a safe space rather than, because they were like on record for actually like polarizing different sides. Like they
They
would
did.
put out
Right.
this radical
Yeah.
content to make
Yeah.
it creates more controversy, and it keeps people on the app longer. So I think that's where the unethical stuff gets into is these like polarization. But I do see your point, Greg. It's like people know cigarettes are unhealthy
Yeah.
or like terrible for you, but they're addictive and people still use them anyway. And that's kind of a similar metaphor to social media. It's like addictive and it's not that good for you.
A good example of this is the seatbelts. Like seatbelts in cars.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the 70s or 80s, they weren't required. And the data was there that it literally saves so many lives, like so many people every year. Like if you look at the data now, like if you're in a wreck without a seatbelt, there's a really good chance you die. If you have it on, there's, that's gonna help prevent that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But back in the day, I mean, a lot of these car companies were lobbying to prevent seatbelts from becoming law, required in every vehicle, and the data was clear there that it helped people. So I think it has to do with lobbying and it just money over it. The thing is, like with any corporation, I mean, there's some out there that don't put money first, but money's always going to trump morality, safety. Like,
I mean, that's
the bottom line.
That's the result of a capitalistic society that we live in, and we've talked about the advantages, disadvantages more before, and that's just kind of how it is. But sorry, I feel like you were continuing a point there.
No, I was just saying, like, it's how do you? I think if you're a business owner, you have to make the call, like, I'm going to treat my people a certain way because there's nothing out there that is going to change that, or I'm going to make sure my customers are taken care of and stuff like that. So I think it comes down to a question of morality, which is, I guess, relative depending on who you are, right? So.
Yeah.
Is there like such thing as like ethical capitalism where you could like put profits first but then also do it ethically without harming your users? I don't know.
I feel like but it's the same situation with like perfect communism, where like the theory of communism sounds beautiful and like everyone contributing for each other, but does it ever work? No, because people are people, and it's not gonna work out that way. People are greedy, so
yeah.
I don't know of a country where that would work, unfortunately.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure it out. But back to the whistleblower. So yeah, there was a conspiracy that because the whistleblower like leaked all this information, like Facebook's bad, Instagram's bad, whatever, that is why Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp shut down. But I don't think that myth was ever confirmed, or that rumor was ever confirmed. But it was suspicious that she comes out with all this information and then basically everything's down for 6 hours. I feel like it was almost like Mark Zuckerberg like saying, hey, this is what happens when Facebook shuts down. Boom. Like, you guys want this?
Really?
Because there was a big uproar, There's a big uproar.
I mean, surprisingly,
that'd be funny if that was out of spite.
Yeah. Surprisingly, though, like we were saying, like I feel like it wasn't as noticeable as I thought it would be. Like without the internet. I mean, granted, it was only for 6 hours or so, whatever it was. But I guess if it was over the span of a couple days, then it would start to feel weird without social media and everything. But
well, people just went to Twitter and TikTok.
Yeah,
right?
It's true. I think, and there's another big lesson with it. It's like if Facebook can shut down Instagram so quickly, it's like you need to diversify. If you're on these platforms as a business, like me and Ryan, and like we're making money from these platforms, it's like we really need to diversify because they could technically just be shut down at a moment's notice, So that's what really got me like a kick in the butt. I was like, okay, I need to really keep going on this email list, on my website, things that I actually own, rather than relying on Instagram or TikTok because they could be gone, before we know it. So
even from an investment standpoint, I'm invested in Facebook, and obviously this was kind of eye-opening to me. And I've always known Facebook has had like kind of a poor reputation, but I was sort of on the buy while low, buy while there's a lot of negativity around it. But who knows in the future? So,
I don't think Facebook's ever going to be shut down, though. Like, I don't think the government would ever do it.
I don't think so either. There's just
politicians use Facebook for running ads and promoting themselves, and there's too much money in it. There's too many businesses involved. Like, I think Facebook is a big part of the economy.
No,
Facebook
I agree.
Instagram.
Yeah, they're one of the biggest companies in the world. But what I could see coming is maybe regulations and changes and new laws that need to be instituted, similar to like the seatbelts, like we were saying. So, who knows? It was interesting. It was interesting for sure.
So actually, someone from CNBC reached out to me and they wanted to just ask me how the Instagram shutdown affected my business, because obviously I have a presence on Instagram. It's not like massive by any means, but I do, make, some money off like book sales and affiliates and things like that. And so she was really looking for people who had suffered a lot of, a business hardship because Instagram or Facebook was down. So I couldn't provide like a full story on my business, but she said it affected a lot of people. I was talking to the reporter and she was like, yeah, I mean, there's people who lost out on thousands of dollars because, they usually have maybe course sales or coaching calls or things like that. And they weren't able to get that revenue on Instagram during that shutdown. So again, it just goes to show you, like, if you are on one platform, you really need to diversify and pick other platforms and really find another way to own your followers, because at the end of the day, Instagram owns your followers. You don't own them. So if you don't have an email list or a website or even like some type of text message thing, like, it's really important to diversify. So
yeah, for sure. John, I actually see ads of you or your partnership ads all the time on my Instagram now, like my personal Instagram, my YouTube account and everything. So
is that what are they, like, what company is it for?
I feel like I saw one for Morning Brew, right? Did you have a partnership with them? That was a while ago though. I'm not sure if that ended. And then also, I think someone's just taking your content and uploading it to YouTube. Same with a lot of people.
Dude, someone did that to me.
Yeah, I mean,
they're doing that on purpose.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of people that do that. I mean, I think streamers go through the same trouble because people can just rip it and then create their own like finance community account and everything, and they're uploading content from multiple different people. So just be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for that.
No, yeah, there's like actual accounts who will like go to the biggest finance creators or really any creator in general and just take their content and repost it, and that's what their channel is, just reposting like big people's content. So it's just another way to...
We can dedicate a whole episode to that. And
garner a following, yeah.
You just got to watermark all your videos now.
That's what I'm thinking, dude. I need to really like watermark everything.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess that wraps us up for this week. As always, we are the Simple Money Guys, making money simple for you. I'm Greg, also known as the Daily Investor.
My name's John, at Johnny Finance.
And I'm Ryan, the Money CEO on social. Thank you so much for joining us this episode, and we'll see you again next episode.
Thank you everybody for listening. As always, give us a follow on Instagram at The Simple Money Guys, subscribe to us on YouTube, and be sure to tune in because we have new episodes coming every week.